All right, welcome. It's been a while. Let's look at what we have today. This is part two, Flow Hub, and we're dealing with a very important subject in French. So please, we'll talk about French issues in French, basic things that will help you to learn French easily and communicate. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button. There are a lot of things coming your way in this channel. Let's dive into it this time. We're dealing with time in French. We'll call it l'heure, time. Now, I want to establish the fact that in French, we use the 24-hour clock, unlike in English, for those in Nigeria, where we use the 12-hour clock. Now, apart from that, you want to also take note of some basic things. The first one is the hour mark. How do you say it is 1 o'clock? That's very important. The next one is how to say it is past the hour mark. The next one is how to say it is quarter past the hour mark, quarter to the hour mark, some minutes past the hour mark, some minutes to the hour mark, and then say midnight and midday. Basically, these are the basic things you are going to need to say when you're telling the time in any language, to be precise. Now, let's take it one after the other. Saying midnight and midday and half past the hour mark. Now, this first diagram there, you're going to see that the both ends of the clock are pointing in the same direction, 12, and that can be interpreted in two ways. Either it is midday, if it is midday, or it could be interpreted as midnight. When it is midday, called il midi, that is, it is midday, il midi, 12 noon. If it is midnight, we say il minuit, it is midnight. So that's for that one. Apart from that, the next picture you have there, this particular picture, it deals with is half past the hour mark already. And how do you say it is 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30? Now, there are two ways to say it in French as well. For this particular time, with the 24-hour clock in French, either in the morning or in the afternoon. If it is morning, it's going to be 1 Now, we put E at the end of the N to have 1 because in French, time is feminine in gender. So now you have the extra E added to the number 1 there. Then it could also be 1, so because it is half past, we have to say it is 1:30. No, 1:30. Demi means half. So you can say 1:30, or you can say 13:30, we'll come to that. Or you can say 1:30. So I will advise you go with the very first one. That is better for you as a beginner. Get it right. So that's for morning. Now if we interpret it in the afternoon, it's going to be 13:30. Or you can say 13:30. So these are various ways of saying it is midday, midnight, it is half past the time, and we are using it for the 24-hour clock so that you can, we're dealing with both AM and PM. The next thing to take note of here is saying the hour mark in French. Now, you have this picture there, this one you can see in front of you. Now, this is the picture of 10 o'clock. How do we say that in French? Now, if it is 10 in the night, remember I use 24-hour mark in French, 24-hour clock, 22 heures. If it is 10 o'clock that is, but if it is in the morning, it's going to be 10 heures. You see it, 10, that means morning. It is 22 o'clock, that's 10 p.m., or it is 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Now, there are other ways for other hour mark, we'll have 11 heures, 12 heures, 13 heures, 10 heures, 11 heures, 13 heures, 14 heures, 17 heures, 20 heures, 21 heures, you have 22 heures. So, look at the interpretation in English. You have it is 1 o'clock, it's 2 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock. So, just the interpretation of what you have in English at the other side of the screen, as you can see there. The next thing to note is how do you say it is quarter to or it is quarter past the hour mark? Very important because we do that a lot. Now, this first diagram you see there is quarter to 6. It's not yet 6 o'clock. Now, how do we say that in French? Now, let's see what we have here. Now, I brought out some things which you need to take note of. Il est 6 heures moins le quart. Now, this moins le quart here, this one means less. That's the word less. So it's not yet 6 o'clock. It is less than 6 o'clock. But how many minutes less than 6 o'clock? It is quarter. The word le quart is quarter. So I say il est 6 heures moins le quart, or you can say il est 6 heures moins 15. And so you see, we put the next hour mark in front and tell you how many minutes less than that particular hour mark. So take note of that. That's 5:45 this is here in that particular time. Now the next one is you are saying it is past, quarter past. Like this other one, we also have a way of saying it is past in this context. Now let's see what we have here. You discover for this particular one, it is quarter past 8, or the way it is drawn is very interesting. Now you can say il est with a car. Now in this other one, we put moins le car, less than. We are saying it is quarter a car. Like I say, il est with le car. Then you can also say il est with 15. I put 15 there. That's 15 minutes past. So these are the two ways of saying it is quarter to or it is quarter past. The next thing we are doing is how to say it is, I say quarter past already. So how do you say it is to? Some minutes to or some minutes after. Don't mind this typographical error here. This is not quarter here. We are there with quarter already. We are saying it is to. To or past. Saying to or past the hour mark. That's basically what we have here. Now you see this particular diagram in front of you. This. Now you find out that it is to 5, not at 5 o'clock. How do we say that in French? Now you will say il est 5 heures. Remember, that's the next hour mark we're going to. But you say it is not yet there. You have that moins again. How many minutes less than 5 o'clock? 8. If you count back, il est 5 heures moins 8. Then if you are going to be saying it is in the night, for example, in the evening, you're going to be il est 17 heures moins 8. So for AM and PM, that's what you have there. It is 8 minutes to 5. That's 4:52. Now the next diagram you are seeing there is saying it is past the hour mark. Past the hour mark. You find out that this particular arm of the hand of the clock is past the hour mark. This one is pointing on the hour mark that you have there. Now how do we say that in French? Now you can say that il est 11h12. You see, we just put the 12 directly. We didn't put any A or anything because it is 12 minutes past 11. If it is 24 hours, remember 11:03, that is, it is 11 p.m. in the night. So take note of that. That's how you say it is past, it is to in French time telling. The next thing you have here are basically practical exercises. We have run through everything you need to have there. Now look at the very first one. Write the times in French. Now 9 a.m. You should know it should be il est 9h in the morning or il est 21h in the evening. Then 2:30 p.m. that should tell you it is either in the morning or in the evening. So this is to practice whether you understand how to say it is half past. So you're gonna be il est 12h30, il est 12h30, or you can say il est 14h30, il est 14h30. So depending on the one you are doing with, there are other ones you can play around with. Il est midnight, il est minuit, 1:15, il est 1h15, then 5:55, that means it is to 6, il est 6h-5. So, and it tells you AM or PM so that you know which one you are dealing with so you don't confuse yourself. So this is going to be the end of the video. I want you to stay tuned. There are other ones coming your way on the channel. Please, if you have not subscribed, do so. I really need your subscription. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.